Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. So, this afternoon, I wanted to bring something to your attention. I was scrolling down through my notifications, the latest breaking news stories and stuff like that. And I came across one particular app thing that dealt with Apple phones, the iPhones. And just about any phone put out by Apple, okay, in general. And this is something that they are getting ready to do. Right now, it's being delayed, okay? But I want you to know your legal rights in this aspect here because I think it's something that's going to cause a lot of issues down the road for just about every American out there, but also for those of you worldwide, okay? Not just the United States, but worldwide. But for those living in America, okay, this is going to be an issue for you. Okay. Now we've seen in the past where families are out having a good time with with their kids and everything, and they sit there and out of how should I say this, out of caring, how families these days take tons and tons of photos. Okay, this is what's going to get you in trouble. Depending on those photos, guess what? You can be charged with child abuse or some form of child abuse material. Okay. So I want you to be careful with this. And this is kind of like a heads up type thing of what they're doing. I actually brought it up on my cell phone here because I wanted to kind of just tell you about this. This is something that is kind of interesting because if you're like me and you're a parent, you're probably not going to think too much of it. And you see your kid doing something funny or stupid, and you just go click, type thing. Guess what? Apple can record it and turn it over to the authority. Okay. And it says, and I quote, Apple has announced that it's officially delaying the rollout of its controversial plans to scan iPhones for child sexual abuse material, CSAM, The Verge reports. Okay. Last month, we announced plans for future or features intended to protect or to help protect children from predators who use communication tools. Now, don't get me wrong. This is something that I'm actually impressed with because I actually, as a parent, would love to protect my son from stuff like this. Okay. But this is what's going to get them into a lot of trouble along with you. Okay. Um, Basically, it says who use communication tools to recruit and exploit them and limit the spread of this type of material, Apple wrote in a statement. It's a notable and rare moment of self reflection. Apple is listening to its critics. Wow. Number one, that is something that even I have to say it's about freaking time a company actually listened to its critics, listened to its people, its buyers, okay? Not just plan ahead. You know what I'm saying? But then it goes on based on feedback from customers and other groups, researchers, and others, we have decided to take additional time over the coming months to collect input and make improvements before releasing these critically important child safety features. The statement continues. Okay. And it goes on from there. It's a pretty lengthy little app thing, but if you get underneath your Let me bring it up for you so you can actually see it. It's this little device here, local news, stuff like that. Okay. It literally will bring up this app and this little story. Well, like I said, it's a good lengthy little thing. Now, the reason I'm bringing this to your attention is because I've seen over the years where a little vacation can get a parent in trouble. Okay. I've seen where a little, how should I say this? A lack of judgment. Okay. Like putting a boy and a girl in the bathtub together to take a bath. In the past, this would have been okay, but nowadays things like that would probably get in trouble with DHS and CPS and stuff like that. So, but the funny thing is that they're now utilizing these devices, okay, to monitor your photos, your communications, okay. And I wanted to bring this to your attention because of the fact that under the Patriot Act, the United States or U.S. Patriot Act, this is considered to be illegal. Okay, number one, what they're planning on doing is illegal. The Fourth Amendment clearly states that the President of the United States is the only one who has the authority for you to monitor U.S. citizens. Okay, U.S. citizens. And you have to have a great, good sized case claiming that it's warranted. Okay. Now, we all know about 9/11. Okay. The terrorist planes that, the operatives that flew planes into the Twin Towers, tried to take out the White House and a few another location. Who knows what they were thinking? But in 2001 to 2007, there was a lengthy, how should I say this? It was a lengthy communication between the governments and the agencies that basically passed a bill stating that you literally have to have a warrant and a lot of evidence to support your claims, even to allow a court system to grant you that warrant to even eavesdrop on an American citizen. Okay? Their privacy, basically invading somebody's personal privacy. Okay? Now, what's also interesting here is that in 1978, it was underneath the Fourth Amendment and everything. It also stated that it was a criminal offense to even and illegal to even eavesdrop on an American citizen. January 18th, 2006, statutory procedures means you had to contact Congress itself and make them aware of what was going on. Okay? What was going on. Now, for me, I use an old phone. Okay? I'm not really big on technology. Everything that I have technology wise, I've had somebody else set up for me. I'm not that smart with technology. I really don't understand it that much. It's like a foreign language to me, literally. I've been shown what to do on these things for just the basic things. That's it. How to set up a video, you know, make phone calls, use the camera, stuff like that. But outside of that, I'm really not that up to date on technology. But what I can tell you is that you have rights if you live here in the United States. Okay. And with Facebook, YouTube, and quite a few other social media outlets that have coming together and becoming more and more stricter with their foundations, their community standards, such as Facebook community standards, where I've literally been at work I'm going to tell you this because this was something I found humorous. Okay, I posted a video of me walking through the cemetery at night. Okay, showing gravestones, stuff like that. Just out of kicks. A friend of mine, or I should say a former friend of mine, a former coworker of mine, ended up taking a photo, making one small comment underneath underneath a now girlfriend's post, and he got blocked by Facebook. Okay, and this was nothing foul, nothing. How should I say this? Nothing that warranted blocking, nothing warranting having a photo or a comment being removed. Okay, you see the point there. It was just two friends having a conversation. Okay. I have another coworker of mine that I actually work with about 3 of the 4 days that I actually work for Duncan. Okay. She and I got underneath one of the posts that she did, and we were sitting there bullshit. Okay, just talking smack to each other, and because that's just who we are. You know, we understand each other. And she got a warning by Facebook. Now, what I tell people is that 99% of the time, you're not dealing with a person. You're dealing with technology who is picking and choosing what needs to be flagged. Okay? What needs to be flagged and what doesn't. At least with YouTube, they're not that strict, not like Facebook. But if you look over the last, say, decade with Facebook, you can understand why that they're literally being so strict with their rules and their community rules. And the reason for that is because they got into a legal suit over in, I think it was Australia, if I'm not mistaken. All I know is it was one of those European countries. And what it was they wanted a piece of the pie. Okay. And they were trying to pass a bill stating, you want to socialize, we need moolah. We need the dinero. Okay. And of course, the founder of Facebook's like, fuck you. No, we're going to pull out of Europe if that's the case. So, and here we are now with a company called Apple. Okay. Apple. Did we not learn from the Renaissance? Did we not learn from the Crusades? Did we not learn from the witch trials? Did we not learn? Did we not learn anything from World War II? Surveillance of the enemy. Did we not learn from the late 80s, early 90s, the satanic panic? Did we not learn from 9/11? Obviously not. Because we have so many issues in this world, from racism to hunger, world hunger, and third world countries. Okay? That this is the biggest thing that companies can put millions of dollars towards. Isn't this why we have the FBI cyber unit? And by the way, my sister, my half sister, works for the FBI cyber unit. Okay. You even have Homeland Security monitoring everything outside this nation. And like I said, the Fourth Amendment, the Patriots Act, everything all the way up till modern day prevents companies and the legal system from monitoring U.S. citizen technology. without Congress knowing about it, without the President of the United States authorization. Those are the two main principles right there. Number one, the president is the only one who can authorize it. Number two, Congress has to be made aware. Okay? And number three, the court system, knowing this, has to have sufficient evidence. A little thing called evidence. Okay? Otherwise, anything brought to the court system is considered inadmissible in a court of law. Okay? Meaning it's invalid and cannot be held up. But like I said, as a parent, it's a good thing. But in the long run, if you think about this technology that they're putting out, it's going to not only land into a lot of lawsuits, but it's also going to get people, the citizens, into a lot of trouble over stupid fucking decisions that they don't contemplate or perceive as being illegal. Okay? Like I said before, I don't know how many of you did, in my family when I was a kid, my sister and I ended up taking a bath together. That's, parents just did that. Just into the tub you go. Okay? Or you're sleeping in the same bedroom together, in different beds. That type of thing. Today, with the rules and everything put forth by CPS, Child Protective Services, within 3 years, the child has to be out of your bedroom and have their own. Okay? But even with today's laws, how many people can afford more than a one-bedroom apartment? Okay? How many people working full-time can actually afford $2,000-3,000 a month for an apartment? Even a two-bedroom apartment or a three-bedroom apartment. Okay? Especially this. I can tell you right now, living in the state of Maine, is the highest tax state in the United States. Okay? The rent just went up in this place from 1,053 to 1,078. Okay? And that's just for a one-bedroom apartment. A one-bedroom apartment. Okay? So I want you to think about this. This is stuff that you need to think about because it is happening. It is that day and age where everybody sees a crime around the corner. Okay? And with these companies, they don't have the manpower to sit there and scope through every little technology. That's what a computer is for. It's called an AI, artificial intelligence. Okay? This type of computer monitors everything. But also, they may record state secrets. So again, they're going to get their asses in a sling either way. So it's probably a good thing that they stated in that article right off the bat that they're going to delay it so they can listen to their critics and gain more data. Okay? Everything is about more data these days. Honestly, I don't get it. I really don't get it. It's more data. We got to listen to this. We got to put out more of this. Even at the company that I work for, it's the exact same thing. We don't have this, so do this. Offer this instead. And it's like, seriously, the customers don't want it. So why are you trying to force it on them? These big companies are doing the same thing. They're forcing millions of people into a state of slavery. Obey or you're gone. Like I said, does this remind you of the witchcraft trials? Does this remind you of the Satanic Panic? Does it remind you of the Japanese never cracking the Native American language? And what happened? They got their asses in a sling. Throughout history, this has been the case since the dawn of fucking technology. The first caveman picking up a club. Wow. Crime. So you see my point there. Do your homework. Do your homework and delve into this. Okay? If I can find the actual link to this, I will add it down below in the when I'll go in and I'll edit it and kind of just put the link into it. I'll put the link into it. And I'll probably do it right off my cell phone if I can figure out how to do that. Um, but anyways, I just read to you what their plans are, what they're planning, and I wanted to bring this to your attention because of this. I know a lot of people here that follow my YouTube channel, and probably many others. You know, you guys probably are more up to date on technology than I am. So you guys probably have, if you like my better half, my better half is always going for that latest iPhone. She loves the Apples. She thinks it's better than, say, Straight Talk. She's got an iPad. She's got a laptop. She's got a fucking iPhone and a smartwatch. And, it's like, do you really need all this shit? Maybe it's just me because I'm old school. I don't know. But that's my point. Okay. Maybe it's just because I'm that old school. I'm not familiar with a lot of technology. Hell, I didn't even know MPay was a thing until I started working for Dunkin' Donuts. I didn't even know there was a thing that you could use on your credit card as a tap. I didn't know any of this stuff existed before going to Dunkin' Donuts. So that should tell you exactly, just how old school I am. Okay. So, I mean, I used to do YouTube videos off my cell phone, and now I'm using a laptop. And, in this case, it's a what is this? HP laptop. Okay. That my better half set up for me. So, you see my point. Shadows of Elysium. That's probably a good thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. My better half seems to have a lot of information, a lot of good data and signals, but certain locations, like say my mother's house, for an example, not good. She don't have that good of connection there for some reason. But whereas I do, but it's just a little bit slower, and I use Straight Talk, and I'm pretty sure this is the what is this thing? I want to say it's a Luna Pro 4, I think 5. I don't know. It's there, but technology is skyrocketing faster than people can keep up with it. So it helps to know, just like being a practitioner of the arts, witchcraft and all that. That's all it is another witchcraft trial. It's a witch hunt. Okay, so I mean, everybody wants to be a part of this. So it started out with Facebook. It started out with the governments. And now it's going into independent companies. So now it's going into just about everything. Okay, not just socialism. You can't even go into a store and discipline your child without having child abuse charges brought against you or something. You can't even wipe your own ass without getting charged for something these days. And it's hilarious to see just how paranoid humanity has become. So my advice to you is, like I tell my apprentices, do your homework, know your legal rights. Okay. I just gave you a couple sources to look up. Okay. The Patriot Act. Okay. The Fourth Amendment. The 1978 criminal offense laws. Okay. The statutory procedures in this area when it comes to eavesdropping and monitoring U.S. citizen technology. Okay, phone taps, computer taps, you name it. You know, it's there. Okay, so knowing your rights will protect you in case the computer goes, "Hey, guess what? We didn't like that photo. We didn't like this or that technology." Well, guess what? Next thing you know, you got the cops on your ass. Okay. You know how many times I've seen this? It's hilarious. All somebody has to do is just point a finger, and you have a witch hunt on your hands, on your hands. Okay, so I mean, I don't want anybody getting in trouble because Apple has decided, oh, we're going to join into this. Honestly, I'm glad I don't have an Apple phone. I am. I'm really glad I don't have one. I stick to what works and what works for me. You know, and 9 times out of 10, I'll choose a book over technology any day. But that's just me. Okay. So really do your homework, get in there, find the sources, and just educate yourself. You'll learn better by doing yourself than you will be being told by somebody else at face value. Okay? So, exactly. That's my point. The chemical mind, for those of you who are watching and not paying attention to the little chat section over here, the chemical mind says, what are most citizens trying to hide anyways? Most of them are mundane, with the exception of us, of course. Number one, I concur with you. My life's an open book. Okay. You look at how many times have I shown live rituals right here on my YouTube channel? How many times have I come under here and educate? My settings are under education. Okay. Enlighten. And that's just here on Facebook. You go underneath my on Facebook. Hello. YouTube channel. Okay. You go underneath my Facebook account. Okay. Same thing. Education. Okay. You go underneath my TikTok channel. You know, we have a guy that has made a huge play in recent weeks, and it's funny because of the fact that I was underneath Facebook and I saw a post, and I said, "Yeah, this moron here just started following me as of last night on my TikTok channel." And another friend of mine says, "Yeah, he's probably going to steal all your shit." And I said, "Good luck with that. All it is photos of Satanism and you know fucking photos of books. You know what I'm saying? On witchcraft, necromancy, alchemy, and occultism. So good luck with trying to get that fucking knowledge. I mean, all I got was a smile, from face, where how you get the heart and the other emojis or whatever they call it. He put underneath one of those laughing faces, and it's true. It's funny as all hell. So what do you have to hide? What do you have to hide? But still, I mean, all it takes though is somebody to sit there and make an accusation, and you're gonna end up on trial for something. That's all it takes. No evidence, no nothing. You can have all the evidence proving you're innocent. You're still going to be put on trial for it. And guess what? By the time it's said and done, if you're not found guilty and gone to jail or whatever, you know, you're going to end up, having to work 100 times more to get your reputation back. And that's if you get your reputation back. Okay. And that's why knowing your laws, knowing your rights as a practitioner, or even as a civilian, will benefit you. So today, when I was, my family and I, we were out and about, we were shopping, and we went over to KFC, you know, Kentucky Fried Chicken slash Taco Bell, you know, for lunch. It was funny because my son and I were playing, and I picked him up, put him on my shoulder, and tickled him, put him back down, and people were laughing. And then I was sitting there, we were sitting there eating, and I happened to saw this, and it was like I read down through it and I contemplated on it. And it's like, you know what? This is something that needs to be said. This is something that needs to be said. It's got to be put out there. And the damnedest thing is that it doesn't take much. All it takes is for somebody to make that one accusation, and that's all it wrote. Your reputation's in the gutter, and they're prospering. Why? Because they made a slanderous remark. But if you're going by European laws, if you're not backing up your shit, guess what? Guess what? Defamation of character alone, okay, and I'm going to say this, defamation of character, slander. If you can prove that that person is slandering you, that's an automatic 1 year in jail and up to $2,000 to $6,000 fine. Okay, and that's just European law, and that's going by the Parliament laws of England. Now, I happen to have noticed it's up above here. Somebody had actually mentioned, what is it? Right, yeah, right here, the chemical mind. It's like how England got China addicted to opium that one time to sell them opium. You mentioned England, so there's the Parliament law right there. Okay. Yeah, straight talk I found is better. It's cheaper, and the prices really never change. Yeah, I pay, what is it? I always get the $55 plan because it's unlimited everything, text, talk, and everything. Because I'm either on YouTube, Google, Facebook, or Netflix. You know, my son likes, my son always watches things like what is that? Rada and Nikki. What's that? Evan Storm, Paw Patrol, now Scooby Doo. You know, my nephew and I were actually talking about this yesterday. It's like, damn, you want to feel old? How many generations now are watching Scooby Doo? Came out what, back in the '60s? You know, here we are, 2021. Yeah, that's gonna make you feel old. Same thing with GI Joe. So that's my point. When you give your kid the phone and they're scrolling down like they always do, they can get under things that will probably come on you as well. So you gotta be careful about that and set up what do they call those parental standards on the computers and everything. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that pretty soon with my son, aren't I? Damn. Um, he's already mimicking me and his mother and grandparents. So yeah, outside of that one time with her smartwatch, he actually dialed 911 on it once. So now she's actually got codes, so you have to punch in, otherwise you can't get to things. Me, I can barely even remember my own password. So, but it's there. But he's more likely getting on his parents' phone than mine. Yeah, he did actually. I'm not joking. It was funny. I was at work one day and I got home, and apparently he had gotten onto her watch and literally dialed 911, and they called back. And I guess she was either, I want to say she was cooking or doing dishes or something like that. It was something in the kitchen when that happened. It was so funny. But my point is, you never know, especially when dealing with kids. Each generation seems to understand things. My son, he's turning 4 in about 3 weeks. He has more understanding of technology than I do, and that's sad. I mean, half the things he wants to get onto, it's like, how do I do that? When you tell a 3-year-old you don't know how to do it, that's something that's sad. Okay, but when you spend most of your life with books rather than technology, you know, you see the point there. So yeah, so there's a lot that you can do with technology. It's not just you; it's also your family. So with all these new laws and all these new things coming into play through state, local, federal, and legislation type laws, you really have to know what you're capable of doing and what you have for rights. And one of the things is, you know, you can also, not plead the fifth, but you could, which is basically you don't have to say a goddamn thing. Just say, I want my lawyer. Okay? They can't do anything. Second of all, by knowing your rights, you can actually combat it. So it's not that hard to do. I can't tell you how many times Facebook has come at me over a post stating it's considered either hate speech or whatever, and it turns out to be a Christian who's got a hair across their ass. So because they just didn't like the photo. Okay, I did a history on the swastika, for example, a couple years back, and that alone would have been flagged by Facebook today. In fact, they're still bringing up stuff from like 3, 4 years ago that were not in play at this time. At that time, that's now in play. So they're going right through your Facebook profile and just snagging whatever they find. So again, you have to know your rights, and this is why I go with the educational process. Okay, is because of the fact that before Hitler made it into a symbol of hate, it was associated with alchemy. It was associated with occultism. Okay, hermeneutics even, and this goes back hundreds of thousands of years. Okay, the swastika alone had at least 37 names to it. Okay, it was associated with a wide range of organizations, but it was only up until World War II that it became known as a symbol of hate, and nobody wanted anything to do with it. Here we are 70, 80, 90 years later, and people are still going, oh my God, it's a symbol of hate. Have you ever done your homework on this? No. There's a little thing called Google. There's a little thing called books. Okay. Let me just show you something here. This is just one book. Okay. But I'm going to go into the back here of this because it is a book on symbols. And I've really been hitting the symbols lately, within my research and my studies. So I want to bring this up here. So, all right. Swastika. You have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25 known names. Right there, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Let me move my fingers so you can actually see it. Okay? I'm going to bring that right up there. Swastika right there. Oh, and right there. Bring it in here. Okay? Just above this. Okay? You see my point. You post anything of that nature today, Facebook's going to snare it. And they're going to go, oh my God, symbol of hate. Well, then, this is where you can go underneath that little, warning thing and send a little message back to them saying, do your homework. review that post. Because up until you do that, you're dealing with a computer, an AI. Okay. So at that point, you'll get somebody to come under and take a look at this and go, okay, we're going to overturn this. But every so often, you're going to have maybe once in a blue moon, it may get removed either way. Okay, by Facebook. If that's the case, you can actually send it to the higher ups. Okay, the high council is what they refer to it as, and I actually have their names. Okay, because I took the time to actually study the hierarchy of Facebook. Okay, so this council, you put everything under there, you tag the post and everything, you link it to that report, and you say this is what your computer and your lower grad deems inappropriate. Overrule it. Okay. I've only had one instance where I've had to actually threaten them with a legal suit. Okay. A legal suit. Just once. Because it was like an entire month. It was like three and a half weeks. Every post that I did seemed to have gotten flagged by Facebook. I finally had enough of it, and I threatened them with a legal lawsuit, stalking, harassment, the same, the whole king caboodle, violation of religious rights, you know, the whole king caboodle, like I said, and I've never had an issue with them since. Okay, every so often, and it actually turned out that I had like three. I took a photo of my block list. Everybody that I blocked over, say, 10 years. you know, which and it was funny because after I sent that report, and I sent that to them, they ended up reviewing it, and the people that were blocking it ended up on my block list. Okay, this is actually a thing. So keep that in mind as well. Knowing what to do, how to do it, knowing your rights, it all comes down into this. So I'm not telling you not to get Apple products. I'm not telling you to go out and have good quality family time. I'm just saying educate yourself. Okay, know what's coming down. This is the latest thing. All right. Don't get me wrong. I've got my own haters because I'm an educator. I put things out and I tell it the way it is. People don't like it. That's the way I look at it. Nobody's forcing you to watch my channel. Nobody's forcing you to like or subscribe. Yeah, it's up to you. But my point is this: know your shit. Okay? It's up to you to either step up or step down. Speak up or shut the fuck up. Plain and simple. All right? With that said, I want to thank Stuck in the Deep, Stephen K, Chemical Mind, Shadows of Elysium, Afro Mixed Root Witch, and let's see, and Hades Black Flame. Wow. Hey, brother, what's going on? You didn't miss it. You just got to the tail end. That's all. You were just a little late to the party. So yeah. So I mean, this video is going to be up, on my channel, so you can actually watch it. You can, play it back and watch it from the beginning. But like I said, know your shit, know how to defend yourself, and don't let the government or the corporations try to push you around. Okay? Know your rights, know your legal situations, know what you can do legally, and literally go out and kick some ass. Okay? Kick up dust. Because if you're not kicking up dust, you're not doing it right. All right? Have a good one, and until next time. And here I am hitting the wrong freaking button. Okay. Yep. I'm not that smart with technology, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try this again. End stream. All right.